Hey everybody, welcome back to the studio. Well, I want to touch on something that I've touched on so many times, but people just don't seem to grasp it. And I'm going to try it from a different angle. And that angle is, are you crazy? Are you nuts? Are you insane? Now, I've heard the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Well, I want to take that one step further. I want to take that to doing the same thing as everybody else is doing and they're failing at it, and you're going to try it and hopefully you're going to succeed at it. No, it doesn't work that way. So what am I talking about? Well, two things I want to talk about today. The first one is the photographers out there who are doing weddings. In our community of about 100,000 people, we have 200 photographers at last count. 200 photographers. Most of those are doing weddings, and most of those are charging between $250 and $500 is the general range. Some are even lower than $250, which don't even get me started on that. Some are above the $500 range. Not many. But they're all offering the same thing. They're offering shoot and burn packages. What does that mean? Well, shoot and burn packages, they shoot the pictures, they may do some editing, and they put them onto a USB stick, or they upload them and you can download the full rest files, and that's it. And then a lot of them are doing this exact same type of shots in the exact same places. In fact, if you want to go and see how crazy it is, if you go over to some of the parks in town during the wedding season, you'll actually see people lining up to shoot in the exact same areas. Because they're all clones of one another. They're all doing the same thing over and over and over again. And they're not getting the business, but they're repeating and trying to do what the other person who's not getting the business is doing. So watch what we're doing, people. Watch what you're doing as an operator of your business, as a photographer. Watch that you're not just doing what everybody else is doing. Now, I had somebody come in the other day, and this is sort of what brought it to a head. And this person came in and informed me that they were going to turn full-time pro photographer, and they were going to clean up on the Lethbridge market by doing weddings and offering the starter package of $250. And my jaw dropped. And I went, you're not going to clean up. You're not going to make a killing. You're not going to be able to do this full-time at $250 per wedding. They said, well, I got other packages that are a bit more. They're not selling anything different in the other packages. They're just doing higher price stuff and trying to fluff it up so it looks better. Yes, one package does have a second shooter in it, but people aren't going to pay $300 for a second shooter when your base package is $250, people. They could hire two people at that price and get full everything. It doesn't make sense. These people aren't thinking it through. And how are you going to live if you can do 4 weddings a month, because there's only 4 Saturdays in a month as an average. If you do 4 of those at $250, that's $1,000 a month. If you do them at $500, that's only $2,000. And that's if you're working 4 times a month. And people aren't getting that bookings. People who are offering those packages, people are doing that quality, people who are shooting and burning aren't getting the bookings. Why? Because there's tons of other people doing the exact same things. In fact, if you go online, and this can be really frustrating for many photographers, but go online to some of these Facebook groups and wait until somebody puts a post up and says, can you recommend a good photographer for family pictures, baby pictures, maternity pictures, or weddings? And wait till you see all the names go. And they're all fighting for the exact same thing. They're fighting for the bottom of the barrel. They're fighting for the lowest price. They're fighting, and they're not getting it. So many people start their business. Within 6 months, they've shut it down. Maybe a year. They're just not making the money. So why are we as photographers just copying what other people are doing and failing at? The next area I want to talk about is for the nature and wildlife photographers. Again, somebody the other day came in. were talking about their photography. They want to leave their full-time job and just become a photographer. They did, before COVID, they did some trade shows. And they informed me that they're having their 8x10s printed for about $2 a piece. And they're selling them for a whopping $10. Whoopee! So they're making $8 a picture. And they think they're going to be able to leave a full-time job that's paying them $50,000 a year and be able to sell enough 8x10s to pay them a $50,000 a year salary. You're not going to do it. Why? Because you're selling the exact same product that everybody else is selling. You're selling a luster or a glossy piece of paper with your image on it, and that's it. And the other people who are next to you at the trade shows, at the Christmas fairs, they're doing the exact same thing, and they're not selling. In fact, there's usually price wars at these places. You'll go in and you'll see $8 for an 8x10 written on a sign, then crossed out and go 2 for $8, then crossed out and go $4 a piece, because people aren't selling. So we're just doing the same thing over and over again, and we're expecting to get different results. And we have to stop that as business people, especially as photographers. I tell people constantly, if you want to set yourself apart in doing weddings, then do something different. Offer full print packages, offer albums, offer different levels of coverage. Once you give away everything in your first package, what are you going to do to improve your pricing? Why would somebody want to pay you on your level 2 or 3 or 4 package anything more than what they did on the level 1 package? Because they're getting everything in level 1 for $250 or $200 or $300 or whatever it is. Why are they going to spend $800 or $1,000? Now, I'm not even talking about your prices are too low in most cases. This is a whole different subject, but your prices are too low in most cases. If you can't make a good living off of doing your pictures, you're not charging enough. Sure, if you raise your prices, you may lose some customers, but you still don't have the customers at the lower prices. So why not raise your prices and give a better package? Give something actual in the package, not just digital files. Give them prints, professional prints, not photocopies, not drugstore prints, not horrible quality stuff, but give them good quality prints. And they will want them, because I have people come in constantly for my photo lab to get stuff printed. And their number one complaint is this: I wish our photographer would have included some prints in our package. We would have been willing to pay for it, because it's a nightmare trying to get good quality prints. And I've touched on this so many times. People want the service. So why not start giving them the service, making the money from that service to keep yourself in business? Likewise, for nature prints, and I think I've touched on this gentleman before as well. I have a gentleman who takes some amazing pictures, absolutely amazing pictures. I am envious of how good his pictures are. And I've talked to him over and over and over again, and I've told him, you are probably one of the best photographers around. I says, but people don't care about your pictures because they can see pictures similar to yours everywhere. But they would love to know about your story. His story is amazing. He could sell the story for the pictures before he even sells the pictures, because of what he goes through to get these pictures. And it's amazing. And he refuses to do that. And it drives me up the wall, because he's trying to sell based on price and he's not selling. If he put the story included with the picture, he would sell pictures. If he gave a higher quality picture, he would sell stuff. If he offered framed prints, if he offered other stuff that the other guys aren't, he would sell it. But he refuses to, because he's trying to copy what everybody else is doing. Now, this is a bunny trail, and I've talked about this before as well. Don't follow another photographer who's trying to sell you something, teaching, mentoring, or something like that, if they don't have anything to back what they are offering. Here's what I mean. Years ago, there was a gentleman who was saying, my highest wedding package is $65,000. That's a load of garbage. He never got that for a wedding package unless it was something that was on location and you factored in airfare and travel time and this and that. And maybe if you exaggerated everything, you could get $65,000 for that package. But I doubt he was ever shooting weddings at that price. But here's the thing. People were following him because on his price list, he says, I do weddings for $65,000. But if you looked at his wedding price list, you would also see that most of his packages were below $5,000. So who the heck is buying these $65,000 weddings? Probably nobody. Maybe if he wants to exaggerate, maybe he did one of them. I doubt if he was ever paid for it. But come on, people. Don't follow somebody that has nothing to support it. Likewise, somebody who's been shooting pictures for a year, 6 months, shouldn't be your mentor. You should not be following what they tell you because they're still learning. Sure, they may have a degree in this or that or the other thing. Who cares? If they're not making money, if they're not living full-time off of photography, how can they teach you how to make money in the photography business or any business if they're not able to do it? There's a local person who teaches photographers. It drives me nuts. This person is not a photographer. This person works for the university. And they don't shoot weddings. They don't shoot families. They don't shoot nothing except for some fun stuff every once in a while. But they will teach photographers how to improve your business. They know nothing about it. They have a full-time job at an educational facility that they're getting paid yearly from that business, and they're not selling their own business. How can they sell it? So people, one, don't follow everybody else. Don't go down the same path as everybody else and expect to get different results. Don't do what you've been doing for the last few years and expect things to be different. And don't follow people who are just feeding you a line. If you do that, you will become more of a success. Yes, it will be a struggle. Yes, photography is getting harder and harder to make a good living at. But I know a number of people who are making a great living at doing pictures. And they are in demand because they offer the stuff that people want. They change their business to suit what their customers are looking for. So until next time, I'm going to go outside and cool off a little bit. I hope you please take this to heart and do what I'm telling you so that your photography business can be a success. Talk to you again. Have a great day. Bye-bye now.